What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the Across the Cowboys podcast. I am Paul Ryan. He is Mike the Pig Crum, and he is Brenden Fergy Smith. Guys, how are you?
And she is Maisie.
Doing fine.
Our latest co-host.
Yeah. For a weird Victory Monday.
Yeah, a victory Monday? Like, is it a victory? Hold on.
On paper, it is. For everyone who has a brain, it's not.
We get to mark something in the win column, so that is considered a victory, is it not?
We are 1-1. I'll take that over 0-2.
True.
Oh, my God, man. Could you imagine going through all that and then ending up being 0-2?
When Neighbors caught that ball, that's what everybody assumed. I mean, everybody, they were doing the nighty-night, and Winston was eating a dub, and it was over. But luckily, we have Brandon Aubrey.
If we lost, Eberflus would have been fired today.
Should he still be fired after that game?
We'll get into that.
Let's see what happens the next 2 weeks. What Ben Johnson and LaFleur's offense do.
Absolutely. Well, before we get into tonight's discussion, Brenden, where can we find you on Twitter, sir?
At Brenden_Smith 26.
Mike, where can we find you?
At CD Piglet, guys. Nice and easy.
I am Paul Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at Paul_Ryan15. Week 2 was full of surprises, and it feels good to celebrate our first victory Monday of the season as Brenden Aubrey and the Cowboys won an overtime thriller against the New York Giants. There's a lot to discuss, and as always, we are excited to break it all down with you guys. But first, let's talk about what we learned in Week 2. Brenden, what are your Week 2 NFL thoughts?
Is Daniel Jones good? I know the Broncos don't have good linebackers right now. I know they don't. But is Daniel Jones good?
I think he might actually be good, dude.
What does that say about the Giants?
I can't say anything bad about the Giants.
Look at the franchise, bro.
I can't say anything bad. But yeah, Daniel Jones looks like he could be like he's Sam Darnold 2.0.
Ryan Tannehill-esque type of career looks like.
I'm saying Sam Darnold because we thought Sam Darnold's career was over.
Oh, yeah.
Way over. And then last year we go, oh hey, he might be someone. Even though we were all like, oh, it's the Vikings doing all this. Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones has Tyler Warren, who looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Pittman, who looks good. Not great, but good. They have nowhere near the weapons.
Taylor is a monster.
Yeah, Taylor's back.
Yeah.
And their offensive line looks good. Like Denver had no pass rush. Nick Bonito almost got there 2 times, I believe, when I was watching. But okay. Daniel Jones steps to the right and throws it to Jonathan Taylor. Like, he looked good. Why? How? Is this gonna be like a little insanity run? And like sometime this year he's gonna go right back down to what he was.
7 different players had a reception yesterday for the Colts. I don't know how many times that happened with Anthony Richardson, but I think that says a lot about Daniel Jones, honestly.
Did he complete 7 passes in a game? That's a better question.
Right. Crazy. Mike, how about you? What is your Week 2 NFL thought?
Similar, just that I'm feeling early pretty good about my Broncos prediction. I mean, they survived a very terrible Titans team. And then that badass Denver defense that was gonna take them to the Super Bowl is getting lit up by Daniel Jones too. Like, it's different when you got to play. Is Daniel Jones even a good quality quarterback? Like, if you have to play a starter quality quarterback, that Denver defense goes from huzzah to we're gonna give up 30 for sure. Mm-hmm. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I did not buy the hype of Denver.
Yeah, Mike, forgive me. I should have been familiar with your game, but I questioned it because I thought Denver's defense was for real. But you look to be right early in the season, that's for sure.
Let's see how it goes. You never know. But I thought they'd do well. I thought they'd do well early. But I didn't think they would struggle that bad with Tennessee, but that's week 1. I definitely didn't have them losing to the Colts, but I only had them winning like 5-6 games. I didn't have them getting to 500. So let's see. Maybe they still pass that, and I don't look as good.
I know that the highlight reel is like not a good way to evaluate players and stuff, but I just remember I was watching the highlights to the Colts and the Broncos game, and I was like, man, Bo Nix looks like he might, have taken a step as a passer.
Yeah. Well, he looked horrible against the Titans. Bad.
Yeah.
He was horrendous. He has Peyton. Sean Payton is going to make you look
good.
It's going to make you look better than you are. So not that you can't be good, but if you're good, he'll probably make you look great.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. One of my NFL Week 2 thoughts is running backs matter. Every team that won this week, with the exception of 2, a running back scored a touchdown. So I think that running backs are, more of a difference maker than maybe we want to give credit for.
Don't tell Mike that.
The running backs matter crowd doesn't say that they're not important in the game. They say you could put Javonte Williams for no money and get the same production you do from Saquon Barkley, who gets 14 million. Now, Saquon Barkley is a unique case because he went to a Phillies team so loaded that they're 2-0 and their quarterback's thrown for like 180 yards in 2 games or something. So they're unique, but running backs don't matter doesn't mean they're not important in game. It means you don't want to spend a lot of draft capital or money on them.
Absolutely.
Javonte Williams.
I do think that's tilting a bit because teams are starting to see smaller pass covering linebackers and smaller edge rushers that are trying to get the ball, and they're starting to run again. I mean, Javonte Williams 2 years ago would have been a terrible option at running back. And now, because of how he breaks tackles and how powerful he is, he wears you down because those small defensive linemen don't want to keep tackling him. Those small linebackers don't want to tackle him. And so you take a gain that maybe it was a 1-yard gain, and he breaks through and goes 30 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So while I still don't want capital spent on a running back, especially for our team with our cheap ownership and bad front office, they're beginning to matter more on every other team, basically.
Yeah. I wonder, like, if Miles Sanders was our starting running back, like what the offense would have looked like yesterday,
Yeah, it would have struggled. He has issues. He's a good pass protector, and he's smart about things other than running the ball, which is wild. His biggest weakness is his decision making as a running back.
Yeah.
Which is wild to say, but it's been a thing for his whole career.
Yeah, he sounds like everything I see about him, it's like he's just, his biggest issue is that he doesn't want to take what's given to him. He's always trying to making the wrong play, if you will. So not a good problem to have for running backs for sure. My second NFL Week 2 thought is an elite defense is better than an elite offense. Am I wild for that?
I think it depends on. I think the balance of it. So an elite defense is great if you could do something with the ball.
Obviously,
you have to be able to do something. And an elite offense is great if you can make some kind of stop every once in a while. Like Dallas had an elite offense yesterday and almost lost. Because their defense was so bad.
Exactly.
And Kansas City Chiefs, they're deep. They completely shut down the Eagles, basically. And a turnover in the red zone by bouncing off Kelsey's hands, a missed field goal, cost the Chiefs because their offense didn't play as well. So it's about having a balance, but I understand thinking if I'm leading, I'd rather have the awesome defense with the adequate offense than the awesome offense with an only adequate defense. I get that.
The reason I think that is just because you look at what the Eagles are doing, early in this season compared to the team that they were last year, and the players they lost on defense. It's like their defense, I'm definitely not better, but it's like, how are they doing this while also being so poor on offense,
Yeah, they're surviving. They don't. The thing about the Eagles, and this is what people have to understand, is, well, I'll talk about it in the notes about our game, but they don't hurt themselves. They're very Patriots-like in that way. They're like, we're not going to turn the ball over. We're not going to drop the ball. We're going to let you make those mistakes, and that's going to give us the win. If CeeDee Lamb catches 2 passes or Miles Sanders doesn't fumble, we probably win. If the ball doesn't bounce off Kelsey's hands into an interception, Chiefs probably win.
Yeah.
Both those ended up in Eagles wins, and you can't really crap on them for it because that they're doing what they need to do to get victories.
Mike, did you have another NFL Week 2 thought?
I got nothing. I have no thoughts.
Brenden, how about you?
The Cowboy game kind of like drained me of all my energy. I watched the Colts game because Cooper's Broncos fan, so I watched it for him. So I got nothing.
No worries. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Broncos would be a fun team to watch in addition to the Cowboys first season, honestly.
But not this year. They're going to win like 6.
Maybe not this year, but what did you see from RJ Harvey yesterday? It seems like he's really getting off to a slow start.
Yeah, I don't think he's being utilized, big time yet.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I didn't watch any of that game, but that seems to be the issue there. Should Cowboys Nation feel good about this win, Mike?
Man, that is. So you feel good because you won and you're not 0-2 and you're not looking at draft picks already?
Yeah.
But I just don't see how you could overall feel good. Like, you can't feel good about that performance on the defensive side. Like, they were so bad in every way possible. Pass rush, linebacker play. Their DTs were basically the only positive of the team. That's it. That's all we got. So it's hard to go into looking forward and going, okay, Ben Johnson's offense, Matt LaFleur's offense. How the hell are we not 1-3 after this? I don't know how good you can feel.
Yeah,
how about you, Brenden?
I mean, you can think about it like happy it's Victory Monday, but overall, no. Of course, we didn't learn anything. Your offense played great. Shocker. A Dak Prescott-led offense with some weapons did something. Who would have guessed it? This defense, it's 2020. That's exactly what this is. This team, Dak's going to have to lead, throw for 50 times a game. Or actually, hopefully not. I don't know why they went away from Kavontae again, which I don't know why we keep doing that. It's kind of frustrating me. If he's run down, then damn. But he's shown nothing in stopping yet, at least early on in the season. Hopefully nothing happens. But, your offense has done so much, and your defense can't stop a effing nosebleed. Russell Wilson, 456 passing yards, or 486?
450, I thought it was.
Well, whatever. He's 35. It's his career game passing yards for his is like what? How? He's supposed to be washed. Washington doesn't look good, and even they couldn't score 20 on him. And so you're telling me I'm supposed to feel good with Russell Wilson doing that? They had 2 receivers go for over 140 yards receiving. I felt gross this entire game. Offense looked great. I feel great about Brandon Aubrey, but that doesn't surprise me. The thing that surprised me was how bad that defense was. And so overall, no, you should not feel good about this. The Giants are going to be finished worse in the league, like one of the top worst teams in the league, and you barely beat them at home when you should have dominated and put them away by at least 14 points.
Yeah, it's such a weird game. I mean, you get your first home game, you win your first home game, you got to feel good about that, and then you win in overtime. It was an exciting game to watch, but as you said, Brenden, there was nothing to really truly feel good about watching this game. Do you feel worse about the team than you did after a loss last week, Brenden?
I felt better about the Cowboys after the Philly game than this.
Yeah.
Because like, of course, the rain delay kind of mess up both offenses, which was very obvious. But your defense gave up 3 points in the second half to Philly. Like that's the Super Bowl champs and all that. So you go, hey, we might have something here. You got bummed out that your offense stalled, but your defense looked. And your offense in the first half against Philly, oh my gosh, they were dealing left and right. Dak looks phenomenal. Offensive line like meh, but everyone looked great. CeeDee Lamb had over 100 yards. Kavontae had 2 touchdowns. Like you go, okay, hey, we're working with something here. And in this game, the defense was I got as Mike Nolan, our defensive coordinator. That's what it felt like. Do we have a buddy at defensive coordinator that this shouldn't have a job or whatever, that he's just there? Eberflus is already on watch, and because you almost got beat by one of the worst teams in the league.
Mike, anything to add to that?
No, he nailed it.
Yeah, very, very puzzling performance from our defense, if you want to call that a performance. What can be salvaged about this Dallas defense after that performance, Mike?
Well, Bland will be coming back. Overshown will be coming back. Clowney wasn't playing. Maybe those players are big enough difference makers. One of them's an all-pro. Did Clowney ever make an all-pro team?
I don't believe so.
But he's he's an impactful defender. And then Overshown looks like a star if he could be the guy he was, pre-injury again. I also think like Caleb Williams may not be able to see through zones as well as Russell Wilson has with 15 years or whatever experience. So
yeah,
maybe you can mess with him a little bit with some of the zones and switches you send him and stuff. But
yeah,
that's about all I got. There's not a lot of salvage for the defense.
Jadeveon Clowney was second team All-Pro in 2016.
So 2 of the 3 players coming in were All-Pro players, Bland and Clowney. So
but that was also 9 years ago.
You have 2 All-Pros coming to help and a future All-Pro in DeMarvion Overshown.
Not that I think this will happen, but the Cowboys do have a history of bringing in former All-Pros and then having one bounce back type of season, one career year here. So we can all hope, but we shall see what happens. What about you, Brenden? Anything to salvage for the defense from yesterday's game?
James Houston and Kenny. Of course, Mike already talked about the DT, so I don't need to go any more into that. But James Houston, 12 snaps, a sack. That's Brendan's bashing. Nope, stopping myself. I did it. Well,
don't get ahead of yourself, surgeon. Don't get ahead of yourself.
A whole tangent.
Yeah, are you more optimistic about the Cowboys' offense or more concerned about their defense after this game, Brenden?
Their defense. We know their offense is gonna be good. If Dak's healthy and he talks about how he's felt better than he has in years, your offense, you don't need to worry about it. This defense is horrible. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse right now, but dude, that was bad. You have nothing other than your defensive. We went from having a defense with no defensive tackles at all that can do anything to now we don't have a defense and we only have defensive tackles.
Feels like
what the hell? You go from
a blink of an eye.
This defense just needs a defensive tackle. That's all they need, man. If we had one more guy there, man, this defense top 5, we're good. Man, these defensive tackles just got help from the other 10 guys on the field, 9 to 10 guys on the field. Man, imagine what this defense would be like.
That's how much Micah elevates every other player on the field. That you felt secure everywhere else because he made your corners better, he made your safeties better, he made your linebackers better. He just made everybody better because he had so much attention.
Kenny Clark led your team in pressures with 5.
Kenny Clark's a monster.
Yeah,
he really is a great player. Arr!
Before without getting too ahead of ourselves, I know you're going to talk about it on Mike's view from the sidelines, but do you think a lot of yesterday was it just performance from the players? Was it the game plan for Matt Eberflus? What do you think it was for yesterday?
That's the problem is that both are bad. So if you take a bad old scheme that will not work versus any quarterback that has veteran, savvy and understands zones, and then you add making Donovan Wilson a deep half safety, having Kenneth Murray as a plug-and-play linebacker, sending Sanborn 30 yards up the seam versus wide receivers and tight ends, and no defensive end, like really great edge rusher, and you that's where that mix makes you that bad. Like you could be that's worse than a bad defense. Russell Wilson 450 yards is worse than like, damn, this defense has some issues. That's like, oh my God, what is wrong? Stop it. Sorry. Puppy's awake. Would you chew your chewy, you little shit? Okay, go ahead.
I would also like to add that guess what? If you're complaining about 9 to 10 players on your defense, or it's on one side of the ball, it's usually, of course, talent difference. That's usually a coaching problem. It's like, oh man, Diggs was getting beat. Diggs has had a bad game. Hey, damn, Diggs has had a bad game. But you go, Diggs had a bad game. All your edges had a bad game. Your linebackers played terrible. You go, oh, okay. So they're all bad, but like there's a whole scheme issue with that.
And you keep getting beat by the same play regularly. That's the DC.
That seam shot to a tiny wide receiver, Wan'Dale Robinson, made me want to like gouge my eyes out.
Wan'Dale Robinson was like 9 for $150 and 2 touchdowns or something in that realm, something crazy like that.
Yeah,
career game yesterday for Wan'Dale Robinson.
Here she goes. She slept 3 hours, people.
How much of an impact would DaRon Bland have made in this game, Brenden?
Can he play both safety positions, both outside corners, slot corner, and blitz off the edge every play? Exactly. Then I feel like we could have gotten something. No.
Yeah, what do you think Bland would have done yesterday?
Not much help. He's a great player, so he would have done some things, but it's too many areas of concern for that one cornerback to make the difference.
Okay, so Malik Neighbors goes for 200 yards instead of Wan'Dale going for like 145 and all that. There we go.
I think safety was more of an issue than corner. Sorry.
Yeah, can you kind of touch on that for a little bit?
Yeah, just Donovan Wilson is not good playing backwards. And so there were plays where he's your deep over-the-top safety, and he was behind the corner and the wide receiver. Oh, God. It's like not possible. Like, hey, your one job, make sure these two people don't get ahead of you. And he's like, all right, both of them are going to be ahead of me. Don't worry. Like, man. And that's simplistic, obviously, but like the thing is like, hey, you're the too deep safety. Don't let these people get over top of you. And like Donovan Wilson just let it happen so many times, like crazy.
Yeah, just weird. Just because we've seen him be an impactful player, and then you see him yesterday, and it's like, how is this guy even on the team?
Going forward, he's an impactful player. At the line of scrimmage, playing the run, blitzing, he's an impactful player.
I don't understand, as long as Eberflus has been in the league, like how he doesn't know how to maximize his talent on that.
He's a we run what I run, and we'll make the talent work within it. He's not what talent do I have? Okay, we're going to run this.
The Jason Garrett of the defense. So I think we talked about that, not too shortly after he was hired. So, yeah, I remember that conversation. How concerned are you about Jadon Blue and Mozzie Smith after being inactive for the second straight week, Brenden?
Well, Mozzie's gone. I don't see him, like, of course, like, unless an injury happens. So, like, that's the only way he's stepping on the field. That is the only way. Because Solomon Thomas looks good. Of course, you got your top two, and Osa and Kenny Clark look great. Okay, so there's 3. You're gonna go with Jay Toya because you want to see what the rookie has, and all that. So like, Mozzie's not playing,
and Winfrey's on his. Winfrey should be back in the next 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
And he's gonna go ahead of Mozzie. I'd be pretty positive on that.
Jaden Blue, I need them to specify what's going on with Jaden Blue, because it could just be they just don't want to give it to a rookie. It could just be that, or it could be like, oh man, he's really not picking up the offense, or like his pass protection is that bad. But like you can give me something more than Miles Sanders. You can give me something more. I believe you can. I don't he's got to either hurt or they're just not saying why he's struggling. He's like, oh yeah, he's just hasn't made the plays. I'm like, okay, what the fuck does that mean? Cool. You're going to get people yelling at you unless you specify why Jaden Blue's not out there.
It's because he can't say, our offensive tackles are awful. And that is why he's not playing. They can't trust their offensive tackles in protecting the quarterback. And so they need to have a guy. They can't be like, hey, we hope Jaden Blue can pick up, these blitzes. Whereas, say what you will about Miles Sanders, his pass protection has been good.
That's fair.
So, he can help there. And then Jake Ferguson and Span Ford and them chip every play, basically. So it's about helping protect Dak Prescott. That's what it is.
That's a fair point.
Up the run for that.
That's a fair point. Honestly, I didn't even think about that. That's a really, really good point, Mike.
The tackles are bad. Elijah Garcia walked back Terrence Steele. I know what you're thinking. Who's Elijah Garcia? I have no idea. That's why I know the name, because I never heard. And he's like a 10-year vet or something. I think it's like 4 or 5-year vet, but he's been in the league a long time and has never played. And he was just walking back guys and ruining up. If Dak is able to get that throw off clean, George Pickens has a big play. But Terrence Steeled and, ended up being a sack.
So just in regards to Jaden Blue, do you not think that, I don't know if y'all watched the video with Voss Lombardi talking about Brian Schottenheimer, when he was discussing why guys like Jaden Blue were inactive and saying that just not being consistent in practice, do you not think it has anything to do with that?
Honestly, he can't say our tackles suck.
Yeah.
So I'm sure when he says inconsistency in practice, it probably is missing up blitz pickups or missing chips or not knowing how to chip well. That is probably the issues. And so they're like, until we can trust him with that, we can't bring him in. But if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have, with Tristan Wirfs in them, or the Eagles, who have Mulata and Lane Johnson, they'd be playing Jaden Blue because they're like, well, we're good. We don't need our running back to be a pass protector. We want a running back.
Yeah.
Where our guys are like, we can't lose Dak. That's the number one thing. We cannot lose Dak, and then we'll go from there. Oh, Herbert took a big hit right there.
I think it could also be the simple fact of Javonte Williams has 190 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2 games. So they don't have to hit the panic button and go, we need something. We need juice. Yeah, I brought this up because I know this is all be a lot of negative. So I want to give Javonte his flowers because, dude, he's
baller.
Yeah, he kind of looks back before injury. I made so many memes. I made so many memes about him joining because, of course, last year I am in fantasy and he was horrible. So, I was making so many jokes and he's proven me wrong, and I'm so okay with it. 30-yard touchdown. When's the last time we saw that? Not last year.
4 years.
Dude, rushing touchdowns at all. I think we had 6 last year. We have 4 through 2 games.
Javonte Williams has 3 of them. That's so awesome.
I know it's way too early to compare, but the signing of Javonte and letting Rico Dowdle walk is looking pretty smart right now.
Positive. Yeah, I agree.
After 2 weeks, where do the Cowboys rank in the division after this game for you, Brenden?
3rd.
Oh, okay.
Agreed.
3rd.
There's no way you could put them above Washington and Philly.
Washington hasn't looked good, but guess what? We haven't
not
either.
Good. I actually have them above Washington.
They were in the NFC Championship, and they are.
But that was last year, bro.
Yeah, but you gotta push some of that into this year. It's the same. They have the same team. That's like, well, Philly, Philly won the Super Bowl. They lost 9 players, but they're number 1 in the division, and they've looked as bad as anybody. They've looked terrible. They just happen to not shoot themselves in the foot. But because we know how good they were from last year, we take that into account and we go, well, yeah, Philly's number 1. They were Super Bowl champs last year, and they have 2 wins already. You look at Commanders, you're like, that was the NFC Championship game, and that team was together one off, like not even a full offseason together, and they did all that, and now, their defense is better. Our offense is probably better thus far, but I think their offense is closer to our offense than our defense is to their defense. Our defense is like, holy God. They played the Giants the week before and allowed 6 points. Dorrance Armstrong had 9 pressures, and our team couldn't do anything to stop them.
Yeah, Russell Wilson looked like he was about to lose his job and probably the end of his career after week 1. And now I go, is he going to get a contract extension? Is someone team going to trade for him? Like, if the Jets think they're going to win with Justin Fields out, are they going to trade for Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
It's wild.
So, yeah, you go from, dude, he's done. He's gone. So, is he in the MVP consideration right now?
He'll be back to done next week.
Yeah, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah, I guess playing, going up against the Packers on a short week, not too many teams will probably look good in that scenario. But I don't know. They just don't. Their defense just didn't look that.
And Packers are. Wait till you see what Packers do to us.
Yeah, the Lions scored 50 points.
I already know.
Competitive.
The Lions scored 50 points this week. I know the Bears aren't that good, but they scored 50 points. The Packers made them look like, oh, dude, they're losing their 2 coordinators. Like, it's game over. This team can't do anything. They do that. We look like we can't beat. We're not going to beat Washington.
Dak is great against the division, so I want to be clear. I'm not saying we can't beat Commanders. I'm saying in the league, Commanders are a better team than we are. We might sweep the Commanders. Dak should have beat Eagles, and we're not even close to them. Yeah. So we could beat Commanders, but they're better than us, especially right now. Like, we got to see what Clowney and Overshown and Bland and all them do back. I'm terrified of what Green Bay could be like 60-10. Like, if they wanted to, they'll take their foot off the gas. They won't want to give away their good plays. But that game, the Giants should have put 60 on us. Like, if they didn't have penalty after penalty after penalty, they would have scored every friggin' time. Like, we never stopped them. It was always like, they're at the 2-yard line. 15-yard penalty, false start. Now they're back at the 23-yard line. That's what helped them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we look against the NFC North compared to how they look against the NFC North and the AFC West this year. I'm not excited about those games by any means, but I just think that'll be a good barometer to compare.
You ready for JJ McCarthy to look like he's ready to be an all-star quarterback?
There's rumors that he just got benched, like that ankle.
I know. That's what I'm getting.
Is fake.
He's out for 4 weeks, I believe, with the ankle injury.
That's what I'm getting at.
Man, there's no way Carson Wentz looks better than JJ McCarthy, dude. I mean, seriously, let's be real. As bad as McCarthy's looked the first 2 weeks.
It depends on if he's playing Dallas's defense. Carson Wentz could look better because he's a veteran, so he'll be like, "Oh, they're playing regular zone defense. I know what to do to that." Where McCarthy might be like, "Okay, is this? Is this? That?" But versus most teams, I don't want Carson Wentz out there.
I'll never forget that episode when we were talking about Carson Wentz and comparing him and Dak Prescott, man. How times have changed.
I know. They're not even comparable. Like, their careers. Wentz became a career backup.
Crazy, man. All right, Brandon Aubrey is the blank best player on the Cowboys, Mike.
Okay, so for sure I'd say Lamb, Tyler Smith, and Dak are above him. And then it would be between him and Kenny Clark. So, he's like top 5. Your kicker is a top 5 player on your team.
Remember when we top five, Brandon Aubrey top five and like players in the NFL last year, and you're like shitting on me and Brenden for that?
Well, yes, and that was true. That was smart and true. Top five players in the league.
He's the best kicker in the league.
That doesn't matter.
He's
That's
a
still
difference-making player.
He still wouldn't be in the top 50 best players in the league.
Mike, the Broncos should have won, and their kicker missed a 48-yarder. The Broncos were missed wide right on a 60-yarder. We would have gone to go get food. Like, okay, game's over. 60-yarder. Oh, Brandon Aubrey's got it. Okay, cool. What else are we gonna do today?
He's still a kicker. He's still not in the top 50 greatest players, let alone the top 5. I mean, at the top of my head, I could just rattle off.
How many wins?
Quarterback, I could rattle off.
How many wins has Brandon Aubrey given Dallas in the past 2 years?
Seriously.
Well, I mean, Dak would be more towards those wins than Brandon Aubrey. Micah Parsons were shutting down people. Yeah. If you're saying did Brandon Aubrey hit a last-second kick, sure. But, I mean, Dak had to go touchdown, and then to end the game 64 yards, he got down there and he kicked a field goal. But, I mean, he's not in the top 5 players. Oh. He's not in the top 50 players. He's still a kicker.
Dallas easily was playing for the field goal. I was talking to my dad yesterday. Imagine if Jason Garrett, I know we had Dan Bailey. Imagine if Jason Garrett had Brandon Aubrey's leg, how awful our offense would be. How conservative. You have to get to the 50. Like, it is insane that all we have to do is get to the 50 now, and that's field goal range. That is absolutely absurd. But imagine if Jason Garrett, that it'd be halfback draw, curl route. I think we're there. We're kicking it. That's your offense.
Probably better than what he did for a couple of years, though, honestly.
Yeah, it was. Garrett was awful.
Where do you have Brandon Aubrey ranked as far as best player on the Cowboys, Brenden?
Fourth.
Yeah, I mean, I had him tied with Dak Prescott as insane that is, but I mean, CeeDee Lamb, I don't know how he slipped my mind, and then of course Tyler Smith, but I'll comfortably say third behind CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott.
Tyler Smith is a better player than Brandon Aubrey. Like
he
Tyler
is.
Smith is a better. We just played a game where we were embarrassed on the offensive line, and Tyler Smith did not give up one pressure in 52 pass block snaps.
Brandon Aubrey didn't give up any pressure.
Like, I understand Aubrey. Like, I would probably put Kenny Clark. Like, Kenny Clark is probably a better player, but Aubrey's like there because Kenny Clark's he plays one technique for us, and there's only so much like that balance to Brandon Aubrey being able to hit 64-yard field goals. So there's that. But like Tyler Smith is an all-pro guard. Like, he's just a ridiculous player. Like, he's those. I would be okay more with you saying he's closer to Dak, but Lamb and Tyler Smith, he is not Lamb or Tyler Smith. Like, those two are wild. And then the way Dak's playing right now, I'd have Dak ahead of him. And then him and Kenny Clark and Deron Bland, he's in that mix. But Bland is hurt right now. Kenny Clark's only played 2 games, whereas Brandon Aubrey, we have this sustained. This guy's a killer as a field goal kicker. But just let's not put him on our top 5 players in the NFL.
Let's be clear. If it came down to it, and I was, on the clock, am I picking Tyler Smith or Brandon Aubrey? Obviously, I'm picking Tyler Smith. That's obvious, but I'm just saying.
I thought you were going the other way around. I thought you were about to go the other way around. If I was on the clock, I had Tyler Smith and Brandon Aubrey. I'm going Brandon Aubrey.
Had I said Brandon Aubrey, would you just log off?
I wonder if Tyler Smith would go top 5 in his draft.
Oh, easily,
dude.
I don't remember the players from his draft. It's the only reason I don't know. But I mean, he would definitely.
It was a weird draft.
If you told me he was top 5, I would be like, yeah, makes sense. Guys are all like the best guard in football right now. Highest paid.
But Tyler Smith, he wasn't in the Jahmyr Gibbs draft, right? Where like he went top 10. and Jack Campbell. Or
That might have been it.
Was
that
the Mozzie Smith
weird.
draft? I think that was the Mozzie Smith draft, right?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I feel like it was the Mozzie Smith draft. Not the
I try to forget the Mozzie Smith draft.
Wait, no, because Tyler Smith was drafted in 2022. Because 2020 was CD, 2021 was Micah, 2022 is Tyler Smith. I'm pretty sure. Because then 2023 is Mozzie, 2024 is Tyler Guyton. And then 2025 is now Tyler Booker.
Yeah.
So that's 2022.
I don't know who was drafted in 2022.
I pulled that out of thin air.
I don't either. I do not either. Here we are with Mike's view from the sidelines. Mike, what did the all 22 say about Matt Eberflus?
He's too predictable for veteran QBs like Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, average QBs that are just good passers that know how to read. They'll annihilate him. He doesn't blitz. They're 7th lowest in blitz. It works on, and this is not a diss to Jalen Hurts. It just is. Jalen Hurts won that game for the Eagles with his legs. As a passer, he doesn't read well. So zones, that's why teams run zone against him. He was bad against zone last year, great against man. Because in man, he knows I get thrown up to A.J. Brown, Smith, Goddard. I have all these amazing weapons. Whereas in zone, you have to okay, where can I make this throw? So he struggled. But then you got Russell Wilson, who's cover 3. Oh, cover 1. Oh, okay, you're just running basic zone all day. Oh, okay, I know what to do. I'll kill you against this stuff. So he's too predictable for those guys. Now, the question is, what is Caleb Williams going forward? I don't know. But, anytime you go if you're going against Kyler Murray, you have a shot. If you're going against Bo Nix, you probably got a shot. The minute you run into anybody with, even Aaron Rodgers, who's been dead for 2 years, same as Russell Wilson, carve you up. You don't want to play Pittsburgh this year. You don't want to play those quarterbacks like that.
Gotcha. And what does Jadeveon Clowney? How does Jadeveon Clowney help this defense?
Well, he'll add. Our run defense is much better so far than it has been. Their Eberflus system works against the run. I will give him that, and Clowney will help. He'll add more. You'll be able to do better with 4-man pressures. Now, will Clowney do enough to where that works really, really well? I don't know about that, but he will. He's your best edge right away. He's your top edge coming out right away. So, he's your best run setting edge, and he's your best pressure edge immediately. So that he'll add that. That's a positive.
All right, here we are with Brendan's bashing. Brendan, talk to us.
So we talked about so much about the defense, so I'm not going to really go too much in it. This week, I'm happy he got his first win as a coach. It's on Brian Schottenheimer. He talked about all of this. Man, Maurice really earned the snaps. He had 13 instead of 9. Really? You're telling me I was wrong about Jack Sanborn. I just had to say it. But Jack Sanborn has looked awful. Kenneth Murray's looked awful against Philly. Meh against the Giants. In run defense. Pass coverage. Holy hell, that was horrible. But so you're oh, he's really earning it. Show me. I haven't seen anything. And then also, you're telling me Sam Williams and Dante Fowler, who's been horrible. Dante Fowler's been atrocious. And you're telling me they're playing better than James Houston? No, nowhere near. James Houston, like I said, what did I say? He had maybe 20 snaps, or was it less than that? I said it earlier. I forgot.
14, I believe he had 14 snaps.
Yeah. And we're going to go, nah, Sam Williams and Dante Fowler need those reps. Why? If Dante Fowler gets if Sam Williams gets a contract extension, I'm going to get pissed because he's shown nothing. And then also just on offense, for your scheme-wise, of course, you have 3 weapons. You got CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson. Why are your reads going to Jalen Tolbert, who doesn't try and is honestly just horrendous other than one catch? And then you have Maine Reed's going to Schoonmaker, who has done nothing. Every time you get a drop, you go, wait, who tied in? And you see 86. Never mind. I'm not shocked. It's horrible. Why are you giving so many back-end people like, this is it? But then the only back-end players that are playing well, you go, they don't need more reps. Kenneth Murray shouldn't play. Kenneth Murray should not play. I want to see what Shamar James has. Like, these linebackers are horrible. Let me see. Leofeld needs to play more. Damone Clark should play more over Kenneth Murray. And that's saying something because Damone Clark hasn't looked good. And then you also go, Jalen Tolbert shouldn't be on this team. He shouldn't. His effort is piss poor. His catching ability is non-existent. That catch on the sideline that went through his hands, you go, oh, man, great play with the DB. And you see a replay. Legit here. Dak Moneyball. I know I said this last week.
He tried catching it with his hands. He just let it hit his body.
Yeah. I'm going to say this every week until he gets traded or we just get – this was going to be our wide receiver 2. It was going to be CeeDee Lamb and Jalen Tolbert. We're talking about Dak playing great. I don't think Dak has nearly half of it with if George Pickens isn't here. And that's not saying Dak is getting carried. George Pickens can catch, and the defense actually respects him. Oh, yeah, we're going to play one quarter. Both safeties are on CeeDee Lamb. I don't care what happens.
We're a 3-win team if Jalen Tolbert's our wide receiver 2.
The worst thing is, though, I wish I could say, like, oh, his talent, he's just not that. His effort level makes his talent in the trash can. Like, he doesn't try. I don't understand. I'm sorry. He's trying to get paid. Like, Jalen Tolbert's a free agent. You want to either stay with Dallas or you're trying to get paid somewhere. And he just doesn't. I said the exact same thing last week. And guess what? We're playing a much worse defense with awful backup corners. And you got owned by Drew Phillips. You got absolutely owned by Drew Phillips. And before CeeDee Lamb said that's the guy who hurt him, all I can say is, who? Like, who? You have Cordell Flottley looking like an all-pro because Jalen Tolbert doesn't want to try. Mingo needs to come back in the worst way possible. I don't care if Mingo doesn't get a catch. I'll be happy with him out on the field. Turpin, please be healthy. For the love of God, if Jalen Tolbert's your wide receiver 3 for 2-3 weeks, I'm sorry. This offense is now going to go, okay, stop the 2 wide receivers, load the run. All you got to do. Jalen Tolbert's going to give you nothing.
Turpin was headed for maybe a career day. He looked really good in wide receiver 3 versus that defense if he didn't get that, like, stinger thing in his neck. Word is, though, he should be fine for Bears.
Jalen Tolbert has turned into
this week. And come back for the Packers.
He seemed fine.
It's possible. It's not a guarantee he'll be back, but they're what I heard was that they're gonna try to play him versus the Bears if possible.
Yeah,
but he'll be back for Green Bay no matter what. Which just sit him versus Green Bay. Why even? If he's not gonna play this week, just play him in week 5.
Yeah, you talked a lot about Jalen Tolbert being a bad blocker, and I finally got to see with my own eyes yesterday after they did a replay of like Javonte Williams' run where he was supposed to be a blocker. I'm like, my God, this dude did nothing to help on that play. I was like, get this guy out of here. It's awful.
He's as bad a blocker as I've ever seen a wide receiver.
Yeah, I was shocked at how poor his effort was.
My hatred for Jalen Tolbert right now is getting closer or might even pass up Chuma Edoga. And I wanted that man sent to the shadow realm. Like, Jalen Tolbert doesn't deserve to be in the NFL how he's playing right now. Like, case in point, another wasted draft pick.
I remember your first year on the pod, you had that disdain for Jordan Lewis at one point too.
I know, and like I said, I'm a man. I love to admit when I'm wrong, honestly, because that means Dallas. That means Dallas is playing better. I'm all for it because like when
we only have so long on the podcast, though, Brenden.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But like I didn't like the Tyler Smith pick, and now he's the highest paid guard and deserves to be because he is the best guard in the NFL. But yeah, Jalen Tolbert.
If we're gonna go over everything Brendan's wrong about, I'm gonna have to cut out now because you're gonna.
I'm wrong.
You're gonna be here forever.
For a minute. All right, let's move on here to Paul's Patriots update. It wasn't a pretty week for the receivers as Stephon Diggs led the Patriots with a measly 32 yards, and overall that group had just 56 yards receiving. Not a good day for the for the Patriots pass catchers, but
They,
Drake May looking pretty solid, man.
hey, let me ask.
Maisie's getting riled up for top
She doesn't
5.
like. She doesn't like the Patriots. Their wide receivers only had 56 yards.
There was
they
a lot of
scored
like tight
33
ends.
points. I thought they had a good game.
Yeah, you would think so. I know Ramondre Stevenson. He had like 80 yards receiving, but he's a running back, so he's not part of the bet. Excuse me. Well, one word here: losing Cooper Beebe for the next 2 months is blank for the O line. Mike,
Survivable. Brock is serviceable. Much more worried about the defense.
for sure. Brenden,
I was just gonna say iffy. Brock Hoffman, for backup centers wise, one of the better ones you can get. But then you see that peel back block Cooper Beebe had to save Dak before a throw. You go, Brock Hoffman's not doing that, and so it's gonna suck. I just said iffy.
Yeah, I thought I had a word. Apparently, I forgot to do it, so I'll just say fine. Not great, but we'll see what happens. Top 5 tonight. Best players to never win a championship. Brenden, start us off with number 5.
So my first 2 are very homer picks, and then the rest are actual real answers. But I put Adrian Beltre for number 5. He was so good for so long, and let's look at the 2023 championship. So how could he not just have like a 10-day contract just to get a ring or be a coach? Like, he deserves it.
Mike.
I didn't really want to put him, but I got Randy Moss as my 5th. He's an electric player. Like, he's one of the best wide receivers ever. And that one year where they went undefeated and then let the Giants beat him with Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Wild
indeed. Number 5 for me, talk about homer picks. I'll have to go with Tyron Smith.
Okay, so we're doing you guys are like more like to us, like, oh man, I wish they would have won a championship.
A mixed bag.
Like I said, I got two homer picks.
Yeah.
I got 2 homer picks, and the other 3 are players that like everyone should say. I just had to put these 2 on here.
Number 4, I'll go Mr. Steve Nash.
Steve Nash, all right.
I don't like fan of that one, Mike.
Your guys' choices so far.
How do you not think Steve Nash should be on this list?
I left Barry Bonds off my list. That's how hard.
He did drugs to be good. Steve
Barry Bonds was he was great before the drugs, but I
no,
but he was amazing before he ever did. He just became like
superstar.
Like way over the top once he started those. But I didn't put him on mine. I put him 6 because of the steroids.
All right, number 4 on your list, Mike.
Allen Iverson. The NBA. That one was tough because I had 2 NBA players, and like Stockton, Malone, Dominique. Like, there's a lot of like great but I think AI skill wise, like if AI was 6'7", he would have won so many titles. It's just he was smaller, and it's hard for small guards to win championships. It's hard for them to take over games because of that limitation.
I will say also for my list, I don't know if you guys did this or not, but I did do players that like I got to see almost all of it, if not most of their careers. Got to follow it actually, so I don't know if that factored into y'all's list or not. But number 4 for you, Brenden.
Well, actually, this one leads right into that. Like I said, I got 2 homer picks. Mike's not gonna like this, but he is my favorite player of all time. So I did say Jason Witten, just because like he's my favorite dude of all time, and he is a Hall of Famer. So I feel like he deserved. No, there's many people on the list deserve to be higher than Witten. I just wanted to give him his flowers.
Ted Williams did not make my list. Ken Griffey Jr., Ernie Banks did not make my list.
Okay, but did you get to watch Ernie Banks play baseball? I mean, come on.
But you knew who. I mean, Ernie Banks was a 2-time MVP, never made the postseason. He never played a postseason game.
No, I don't, because I didn't watch him play.
Wild. Brenden can't talk about the Jimmy Johnson 90s Cowboys. He never was around to see them.
I mean, he can, but I'm just saying.
I don't ever really talk about him.
Yeah, it's not like he has them. I mean, he does have a Dorsett jersey hanging up on his wall.
I have Hall of Famers on my wall. I don't talk about them. I just think of course everyone knows Tony Dorsett.
Yeah, number 3 on your list, Brenden.
I kind of combined this one just because they are both on the of course from the same team and all that. But I put Barry Sanders / Calvin Johnson. Their talent was absolutely insane, and the Lions just wasted it. Like I said, I had 2 homer picks.
Barry's my third as well.
Then these, yeah. When I put Barry Sanders, I'm like, I can't say Barry Sanders and not Calvin Johnson as well. He legit retired because he didn't want to play anymore because he didn't want to play with the Lions. He requested a trade, and they go, "We're not trading you." Like, okay, cool, I'm out.
Did they ever even make the playoffs when he was active?
Yeah, they beat us once, didn't they? Or they played us. Maybe we won that one.
I don't remember that, but
were they wasn't he on the team when they thought that penalty was a pass interference, but it wasn't? They didn't. They
Barry Sanders?
The flag.
Or are you talking about Calvin Johnson?
Calvin Johnson, not Barry Sanders.
No, I was going to say Calvin Johnson. I was smart. Did Barry Sanders ever make it to the playoffs?
Yes.
Oh, my bad.
Yes.
He had one game. He made I believe he played one postseason game. Green Bay?
I'm pretty sure.
I know Calvin Johnson was on that team that you're talking about, Mike.
I'm interested. Barry played at least
2014.
Once. My third one was Barry as well.
Number 3 on my list, Ichiro Suzuki from the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, great.
Okay, not bad.
Great. Mike, can you finally respect at least one person on my list?
That's not terrible.
I just still don't understand. I would think of anybody, you would be a big fan of Steve Nash. Like, I don't understand how you.
Barry Sanders played in 6 playoff games.
Oh, really?
Yes. Steve Nash was fine. You know why I don't respect Steve Nash? Fuck that guy. Because he stole MVPs from Kobe and Shaq, and then Steve Nash was never in the realm of player that Kobe Bryant or Shaq was. And they're like, yeah, give him the MVP because
what is that Phoenix Suns team with Mike D'Antoni without Steve Nash, dude? Come on.
They played in a system where he never had to play defense ever in the whole game.
That entire team never played defense.
Bingo, which is why he can't win MVP. He offers 0 on one side of the ball, whereas Kobe Bryant can score as many points as Steve Nash can in 100 more ways than he can, and also locked up people as a defensive player, the defensive player team, all defensive team multiple times in his career. And they're just like, oh, he has sexual allegations, so give Steve Nash the MVP. Fuck that guy.
He almost won it 3 times in a row, dude.
Huh?
That's saying something. He almost won it 3 times in a row.
Yes, but he was never the MVP in any of those 3 years. Kobe was they weren't even in the same tier of player the year that Kobe had the allegations. They just didn't want to give it to him. Kobe Bryant was scoring 40 points a game every game. Just like there was a streak where he scored like 9 games of 40 points, and was an all defensive team player. Like Steve Nash was never in his, and then the year that he took it from Shaq was another one. That's like Steve Nash was never an MVP quality player ever. You can't be an MVP and not play defense at all. 0. James Harden played more defense than Steve Nash.
Stop it.
We'll
move on. Well, after the pod, we will. I just kind of want to look at the numbers, compare Kobe, Shaq, and Nash's numbers to see that. But number 2 on my list, you already mentioned him, Mike. Randy Moss.
Yeah, Randy's a monster. And I tried to keep Randy Moss off mine because I don't like the Barry Bonds steroid thing. I don't like that he quit on multiple teams. So I didn't want to put him on mine, but it's like I put him 5th because he was special, man. That team should have won that title. It's shocking they didn't.
Were either of you, one of you, close to putting T.O. on your list?
No.
I love T.O. I would take T.O. over Randy Moss, but not – it's weird how I say it. If I was playing, building a team, I'd rather have T.O. 100 times out of 100. But as far as, better player to not win – I feel like Randy belongs more in that, even though he quit on a bunch of teams.
Yeah, that makes sense. Number 2 on your list, Mike.
Dan Marino,
Yeah.
obvious. They could have, if he wins the Super Bowl, he might have been the greatest quarterback of all time. If he just wins one, he was that legit. But he never got to one after what was it, his rookie or second year? He never got to another Super Bowl. It's just crazy.
I almost put him on mine, but I thought you guys would have him on there, so I didn't. What about you, Brenden? Number 2.
Well, y'all said my 1 and 2. My 2 is Randy Moss. My 1 is Dan Marino.
Oh, nice.
Mike, number 1 on your list.
Number 1 on mine's Charles Barkley.
Charles.
That 92, it was crazy. The 92 Olympic team that had all those great players, Charles Barkley was the best player on that team. At that, not all over overall, but at that time on that team where they were in their careers, Charles Barkley was the best one. He destroyed for that Olympic team. He was unbelievable. And then took the Suns, who had no business being like Dan Marley and Kevin Johnson were their players. Like, if you look at the team they played with the Bulls, with how many guys, like Bulls had other than Barkley, Bulls had the next 4 best players, on there. Just Kevin Johnson and Dan Marley were not bad players, but they weren't players that should be in the finals of the NBA. Yeah. He was crazy good. Just Jordan's era. Jordan was beating everybody.
Yeah, I know he gets mentioned a lot in this category. Him and Patrick Ewing.
Yes.
Number 1 on my list, you mentioned him too, Mike, but Allen Iverson, one of my all-time favorite NBA players. I mean, when he made it to the finals with that team against the Lakers, that was a pretty special moment for me as an NBA fan. But God, that you could argue that maybe that team had no business being there. The Sixers.
They're the only team that gave that Lakers team never lost a playoff game in regulation. They were undefeated, other than that one overtime game that AI beat them.
And one of the greatest moments in finals history with the crossover step over.
Yeah, stepping over Tyronn Lue.
Yeah.
Why are you eating the dish?
Well, It was a good episode as always, gentlemen. Hopefully this upcoming week against the Bears, maybe we'll feel a little bit better about this team. And I don't know what to think about this defense anymore, especially with the breakdown of Matt Eberflus. But we will see when that happens. But as always, it was a good discussion. Before we get you out of here, Mike, where can we find you on Twitter?
At CD Piglet, guys. Nice and easy.
And Brenden, where can we find you?
At Brenden_Smith 26.
And Maisie's
guys, I'm Paul Ryan. And you can find Maisie with Mike. I'm Paul Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at Paul_Ryan15. We appreciate you joining us, and we will see you guys next week.